What if the only thing holding your business back was the way you run it? Think about that for just 1 second. Not the economy, not competition, not even the platform you sell on, but the way you run it. I started selling online back in 2009. At first, it was just something I did on the side, flipping my personal items and making a little extra cash here and there. But it wasn't until 2015, after leaving a stable 9-year career in retail, that I got serious. I leaned into retail arbitrage at first because it just came natural to me due to my career. In 2016, I took a leap and made a sizable investment overseas. I launched my first product, a container designed to transport kitchen spices. And it did pretty well, actually. And by 2017, I officially incorporated my business after riding the wave of some major success during the 2017 eclipse craziness. But here's what I want you to hear loud and clear. Before 2015, my sales were a constant roller coaster. I treated reselling like a side hustle, and guess what? It paid me like one. The real growth only started when I finally began running it like a real business with systems, structure, and discipline. So in this video, I'm gonna give you the 7 habits that turn my reselling business around, and they can do the same for you. If your business is stuck, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, I've got the solutions. And why? Because Resellutions gives you real solutions. Habit number 1, treat your business like a business. First, and this is where it all starts, I treated my business like a business as soon as I knew I wanted to make real money. And that meant no more winging it, no more playing catch up at the end of the month, and definitely no more tax season anger issues. I built systems. For inventory control, I developed a straightforward but effective system that made it impossible to lose track of what I had. At first, I only used bins on heavy-duty racks for all hard goods, and then expanded to a long box system when I adopted clothing into my business. Every item was logged. SKU numbers, cost of goods, location in my storage, all dialed in. I created shipping workflows that were linear so as to minimize mistakes. I mapped out every single step from printing labels to boxing up items to drop-offs or pickups. Even the smallest task had its place on the checklist. And when it came to daily listing, non-negotiable. I set a bare minimum of listings per day, which I recently changed to sale price amount per day, but always with no excuses. I set a strict schedule for everything: sourcing, listing, packing, and yes, learning. I treated it like if it was a real profitable business. And this is where it gets real. When you create predictability in your workflow, you create predictability in your income. And when it came to finances, I didn't guess. I didn't cross my fingers. I hired a professional accountant as soon as I could afford it. They then handled taxes, my P&L, and kept me on track. I didn't want to get caught flat-footed at the end of the year. That's just the worst. And let me tell you what, that decision alone saved me from huge headaches and a ton of stress. Plus, it freed me up to focus on what I do best, making money. Habit number 2, build good habits. Now, systems are great, but they're only as good as the person running the system. That's where habits definitely come in. I built rock solid, non-negotiable daily habits. No matter how I felt, no matter how busy I was, every single day I listed the same amount of items. And honestly, the daily discipline sucked, but discipline rarely manifests itself as fun. At the beginning anyways. On days I felt great, I listed 10. On days I felt burnt out, I listed 10. It became automatic. I also use routines and templates to remove unnecessary choice. When you wake up and everything is already set up, the photos are taken the same way, the listing templates are loaded, the packing station is organized, you don't waste mental energy. You just get to work. Because here's the truth that no one likes to admit. Motivation fades, but habits last. Habits are repeated behaviors that become automatic or hard to change. They are behaviors that become part of your state or condition because you've held on to them for so long. As long as I considered my habits to be good or helpful, it was a good thing to be habitual. And over time, those small but consistent actions compound into serious growth. I didn't get lucky, I got consistent. Habit number 3, write it all down. I made a note of everything I did. I built detailed standard operating procedures or SOPs where I needed them. And why? Because clarity is power. I broke down processes step by step: sourcing, listing, shipping, customer service, and returns. Nothing was left to chance, everything written down. I created checklists that were so easy to follow that even a newbie with zero experience could understand it. It wasn't just about making things easier for me, it was about making them trainable. Thankfully, my very long career as a trainer helped me a ton with that. Developing these SOPs also meant that when I brought in help, whether it was a family member, a contract employee, or a virtual assistant, I wasn't stuck trying to explain things on the fly. I handed them a system. This is how we do it. This is how we win. And the result? I was able to delegate tasks like shooting photos, listing, shipping, etc. to free up my time for the bigger picture. Like negotiating better deals on WhatsApp with my Mexican connections, like developing new products like the Resellupe, like launching new platforms, which I am working on now, Resellutions.com, which will be a haven for resellers that are looking for info, cool new products, and a general place to congregate with other sellers. That's the goal anyway. And even taking into account that I didn't always hire help, I didn't always have a contract employee, I didn't always outsource, writing the SOPs was one of the best things I have done to date. I wasn't just working in my business anymore, I was working on my business. Habit number 4, protect your time. I tracked every minute I worked for about 3 months. And by work, I mean actual productive work. Every single minute. And what did I discover? I was wasting hours every week scrolling through social media, over editing photos, fucking with the listings that didn't need it, chasing perfection when it didn't matter. So I cut all that shit out. I asked myself, does this task right here directly drive sales, profit, or efficiency? If not, it's gone. I doubled down on the 20% of tasks that drove 80% of the results: sourcing, listing, shipping, and relationship building. That's where the real money is made, not in scrolling Facebook groups or debating over which shade of gray looks best on the background, as I get in my comments all the time. Habit number 5, borrow strategically. I got smart about capital. I opened business credit lines. I used PayPal, Amazon, and eBay working capital to fund inventory purchases. I took on a small investor for a fair portion of my LLC. And guess what? I rarely touch my own money. I also used short-term financing to invest in tools that paid for themselves in speed and efficiency. But here's the thing. I treated borrowed money like a business tool, not free cash. Every dollar I borrowed had to earn back more than it cost. Period. No exceptions. This kept me disciplined. It kept me focused. And it allowed me to scale faster than I ever could using just cash flow. But I always respected the money, because once you stop respecting borrowed money, that's when things get out of hand. Habit number 6, play the long game. Here's another hard truth I had to learn. I stopped obsessing over daily sales numbers. Instead, I tracked 7-day and 30-day rolling trends. Why? Because business is about the long game. If you obsess over today's sales, you're going to make emotional decisions. You're going to panic. You're going to chase short-term wins at the expense of long-term success. That's just stupid. On slow days, instead of freaking out, I use the time to improve listings, to source better items, to reach out to my contacts, to sharpen my skills. Downtime became prep time, because in this game, bad days are guaranteed. It's how you respond that counts. And playing the long game kept me focused on what really mattered. Habit number 7, building relationships. I prioritize relationships. I build connections with Mexican wholesalers, thrift store and retail managers, and professional liquidators. These relationships open doors, inside deals, exclusive stock, I'll hold these in the back for you type of thing. It always works. And when profits came in, I reinvested in tools that scaled my time and output. By the way, most of the tools I use are going to be linked down below, so you guys can go check out the description. And what tools am I talking about? Professional lighting setups for better, faster photos, thermal printers for a pro look, hardcore shelving to store way more inventory, barcode scanners for Amazon FBA shipments and other uses, testing tools to guarantee my products work before shipping, and my favorite, Anycubic Open 3D printer, and later my enclosed Creality K1 Max as an upgrade. Mind you, both of the last printers, they were paid for by the products they produce within 3 months. And since I had bought them on credit with 0 interest for 12 months, I was like the Fed, just printing out money, baby. As much as that pisses me off. The printers are probably one of my best investments. They allow me to think bigger, prototype new product ideas, and add revenue streams. And you know what else I did? I shared and will continue to share the journey. Wins, losses, and definitely lessons. This channel you're on right now, this is what I call Resellutions, a place to get real solutions for real people who want to make real money. And sharing my journey not only grew my audience with great people that I know are behind me because they know that I am rooting for them, but it created an additional income stream too. And more importantly, it allowed me to give back to the community that helped me grow. And that's it, everybody. If you want to build a reselling business that lasts, stop treating it like a side hustle. Treat it like a business. Build systems, build habits, build processes that free you up to think bigger. Watch your time like it's money, because it is. Borrow smart and play the long game. And never forget, the relationships you build today are what fuel tomorrow's success. To continue supporting the channel, you can always send your thanks with the thanks button down below. You can buy the Reselloupe to add value to the photos you're already taking. Better photos means better sales, plain and simple. And you can become a member of the Resellutions Posse for less than gas station coffee and get access to What the FAQ Thursdays, which is always hella fun. As always, give this video a like, share this with anyone that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace and cheers, everybody. Woo! And I shoot this video because I remember when I was a newbie, like some of you. You started with making only $50 a month, $100 a month, $300 a month, whatever. Now I make thousands a month. And it took a lot of consistency and everything that I talked about today. It took a while, it wasn't overnight. And I learned a lot from a lot of mistakes, a lot of losses, but also a lot of wins. And my goal is to always impart as much as I can to you guys from the little that I know. So hopefully one of you can take that information and live a better, happier life. And for those of you that have been watching my channel for some time, I am gonna make an announcement. I am retiring officially the segment Who Be Talking Shit. And the reason I'm retiring it is because instead of focusing on the losers, I want to focus on the winners. So what I'm gonna ask of you is that if you have a win, whatever win it may be, maybe you sold a ton this month, you had a really big sale, you had a sale period, maybe your kids just graduated from college, maybe your kids won a tournament, maybe you got married, you got engaged, whatever you want to celebrate, I want to do that with you. So what I want to do is that you can send it in the comments, and I'm going to try to get to everybody as best as I can and as fast as I can when I do my What Sold segments. So instead of the We'll Be Talking Shit segment, there's going to be another segment. I haven't named it yet. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but it's going to be something fun. And then I'm going to put you there because I want to highlight the positive. I want to keep you guys in a tunnel of positivity when you are focused and just looking forward to a better life, to more wins, to a better community that is focused on making money and making this a better world for resellers and a better world for people in general. I hope you guys like it. Ahora sí, échale chingazos. Translation, let's do this thing.